Pepsi is now at 52-week lows. More specifically, it hit those lows yesterday, but, same thing, right? We're $3 above the 52-week low of 155. Now, the question we need to be asking is this stock a buy, right? I'm assuming all of you know what Pepsi is. I'm assuming most of you are at least baseline interested in Pepsi stock, considering you clicked on this video. So that's the question I'm going to be addressing, right? So I've covered this stock on my channel before. I like this as a primarily dividend-centric stock, right? It's a stable industry. It does a good dividend, which is now even better because the price has shrunk, right? So 3.5% is a really solid dividend. It, of course, has the consistent track record of matching and beating inflation, going much past 2000, although I usually don't look past 2000 because over the course of 25 years, stocks change so much. But I do like this stock, right? I do as a dividend-centric stock. However, now that we're talking about it at this cheap area, maybe you could okay, maybe we're going to swing trade this, something like that. I'm not a trading channel necessarily. I don't necessarily specialize in that sort of thing. I don't do much of that myself. However, if you're looking to buy this stock long term, you can maybe throw a few extra shares, and then when it recovers to a level maybe around 170, 180-ish, you could sell some of those off. I did that recently with Apple. I was planning on investing long term because I like Apple as a company. Around 160, I bought it. Just so happened a few weeks later, it ran up to 190, and I sold those extra few I bought off. Not that I would have been crazy mad if it didn't run up, but that was just a lucky timing for me, right? And we can see there's nothing necessarily underlying with the business to cause this drop, right? So the earnings, quarter three earnings, they basically hit it right on the money, right? 2 cents beat. That's basically right at it. And that was on the 3rd, I think, or the 7th, somewhere in early October. So I think it was I don't know, somewhere in there, right? And then it actually ran up following the days after it. So this fall isn't necessarily because, they had a bad earnings or anything, or there's bleak outlook for the company necessarily. Nothing that I read. It's just, money is moving out of it. We can see here, PE 23, forward PE of 19. That is cheap. This is also a quote-unquote value stock. However, historical S&P 500 range is around this mark, so I wouldn't necessarily say this is a super cheap company. However, S&P 500 PE is 27, so the fact that this is 23 is relevant. It's a cheaper stock, certainly at these levels, right? They pay a dividend that has increased historically 7, 13, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 9%. That's actually really, really good, right? Because that dividend rate is outpacing the S&P 500 pretty dramatically. It's clear that they've shifted more towards paying out a dividend in terms of giving money back to shareholders instead of necessarily share price, which is fine. And for a dividend-centric value-centric stock, that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. Yeah, so I like this. I like this level. If you like Pepsi stock, if you're interested in it beforehand, you should be very interested at these levels, certainly, right? I cannot tell you if you should buy it. Because if something were to go terribly wrong, I don't want you to sue me. So, that wouldn't happen, but just in case. But also, too, everyone's particular situation is different, right? I kind of hate those questions where it's like, what should I do? Should I buy or sell this? I don't know because I don't know you. I don't know your specific financial situation. I don't know all that. So I'm not going to recommend a buy or a sell. However, if you do like Pepsi, it's pretty enticing at these levels. It just is. And it's a solid company. If Pepsi were to actually start doing terrible, that would be very confusing. They have a huge, name brand awareness. They have a loyal customer base. Right, that sort of stuff, right? So this is one of the more safe stocks as well. So you're getting in a good stock at a cheap price, right? Even if we look at the 5-year chart, this is the cheapest it's been basically since what? 2022? Even then, you'd have to go back to 2021 to find it where it was consistently at these prices. So we may look back and say, okay, this was a good entry point. So, and that's probably what we're looking at, right? Schwab thinks it's going to do well. They reiterated 3 days ago. They think it's going to be actually fairly middling, but because this is a dividend-centric stock, even slightly underperforming, you would be fine with that. 4-star, wide economic, all that sort of stuff, right? We don't really need to dive too much into it. Let's look at some historical PE, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Yeah, so historically, over the last, at least when this was taken, I'm sure there was maybe jumps and stuff. This is cheaper than it's been over the last year and a half. It just is, right? Over about a year to year and a half, PE of 23, forward PE of 18 is the cheapest it's been, although it's only slightly below that level, right? This isn't like 50% discount, but it is a discount. And then analysts are still saying hold dash buy, right? Only one dude's saying underperform, the rest are saying hold buy. It looks like 7 of the, well, if there's one dude, then that'd be 6. 6 of the 22 are saying buy, which is a little low, but no one's going to like scream, oh, Pepsi's super cheap right now, right? Sort of thing. I mean, it's pretty rare, but generally with a stock that only moves sideways historically and then pays a good dividend, you're not going to get a lot of crazy, like, oh yeah, it's going to moon, dude. They're not going to get a lot of that from analysts. Analysts are more trying to not look stupid than say anything crazy because that's their job. So I'm not a huge fan of analyst ratings. But anyways, that's all I got for this video, guys. I think I've said what I wanted to say. If you enjoyed this video, I appreciate if you left a like. Subscribe if you are new. I've noticed whenever someone subscribes, YouTube's like, oh crap, people like this, and they recommend it out a lot more. So it really has been helping for, I mean, all of you that have subscribed, I appreciate it a lot, but I also just appreciate you for watching and enjoying the content. I do daily stock content on this channel, and I'm really appreciative of all of you who do watch because I've been having awesome growth for me. It's a small channel. I started this 2 months ago. But anyways, that's all I got. I'll catch you next time.